Yo, what up everybody, welcome back to the Flix channel, back here bringing another video, and in today's video, we have another news video. In today's news, we're basically going to be reporting and letting you guys know what CBS Sports reported as their Wrestling of the Year. The first award they had was for Wrestler of the Year, and they gave this to Adam Cole of NXT. Now, this was the only part of their article that I actually read their defense on, because I would agree somewhat, but I want to give my opinion on why Adam Cole isn't the best of the year. But he's definitely up there in the top 5, maybe even top 3. I really enjoy his work. He's been doing great. But their defense was that he stuck up in the face of Tommaso Ciampa going down in injury, and he really rose to the occasion, and he took the ball that he was given and ran with it. And we all know Adam Cole is peak, like top performer. He's very good at what he does. Great on the mic, great in-ring and wrestling-wise. And this year especially, almost every match he's had, he has been having like amazing street fights with like Johnny Gargano. Every good match you can think of from him, besides what the 2 matches you see on the main roster, were his matches, which were like street fighter gimmicked matches. He didn't have a lot of just straight on one-on-one wrestling matches on NXT TV, just being a good talent. But he's definitely up there with one of the best, but I don't know if he is the best all-around wrestler of this year. The next award they gave was for Match of the Year, and they gave that to Johnny Gargano when he defeated Adam Cole in the 2 out of 3 Falls match. I believe that was the match at TakeOver New York, where it was for the vacant NXT Championship that Tommaso vacated because he hurt his neck. And this was the first of the trilogy. I believe they had 3 matches of Gargano versus Cole. This is the one that Gargano won. Cole ended up winning the next 2, as well as the title. And I think this was really like what was their best match in the trilogy, because the other 3 didn't feel like they could stand up to this. I felt like those two kind of just piggybacked that, and they weren't as good as the original, which is a complaint about a lot of trilogy kind of things, is that it never like lives up to the hype of the original. And I think that this is the same case for the 2 out of 3 Falls match. I would agree. It could be Match of the Year. It's definitely up there. I haven't seen like every wrestling. I haven't been super up to date on the wrestling, so I couldn't tell you whether or not it's truly Match of the Year. But it is definitely up there with the matches that I've seen. Best Match of the Year. And it was real good, heartfelt seeing Johnny Gargano win. And it just makes you think, would Gargano have won if Tommaso wasn't injured? Alright, the next award they gave was for Best Moment/Angle of the Year, and they gave it to Kofi Kingston winning the WWE title at WrestleMania 35. I would definitely agree. Pretty big moment. Got a lot of hype. Everyone's probably voting this their best moment or angle. Their worst moment or angle was the wild card rule played by WWE. Now, I don't think this is the worst. Like King Corbin's done some stuff, so that's probably up there. But this definitely was bad. They definitely should never do it again. And it was pretty awful. Their comeback of the year they had for Bray Wyatt coming back as The Fiend. I think that his comeback could have been handled better. And not necessarily his comeback, but his match when he came back could have been done better. I think that they kind of dropped the ball there. Kind of pushed him too fast into the main event scene. And he definitely could not thrive, because the stars that were there were bigger than him and could not take a loss. So that was very bad of WWE. They should have had like a transitional champ hold on to it or defeat Rollins, and then, so like let's say Zack Ryder shows up or Ziggler beats Seth Rollins, and then The Fiend beats them just as like a transitional champion. That would have been nicer to see than what we actually saw. Their breakout wrestler of the year, they voted Rhea Ripley in NXT. I would definitely agree. MJF would be up there too. As well as, honestly, I don't know if Chris Jericho would be considered a breakout, but he's been definitely having a really good year. So those are 3 I think of. But Rhea Ripley's definitely been killing it in NXT. But she's really only been killing it lately. Like, there's been some real good, like Keith Lee especially. Oh my, Keith Lee. He's been just pretty excellent like the majority of this year, whereas Rhea Ripley's only been killing it like pretty much from the end of summer till now. I really think is when she's been hitting full stride. Rookie of the Year, which I kind of think should just be Breakout Wrestler of the Year. but maybe breakout is Rookie of the Year for next year. They have MJF of AEW in here, and I would definitely agree. I think that he, honestly, like, unpopular opinion here, but I think he's a little bit overhyped, but I can see the hype around him. He definitely is a good talent. For their tag team of the year, they have the Lucha Bros from AEW. I don't think Lucha Bros is the best tag team of the year, but they're definitely up there. There's a lot of really great tag teams this year. I don't know if they were the best, but they were certainly up there. Then for commentator of the year, they have Mauro Ranallo of NXT. I don't even want to get into this because I might say something that'll offend him and send him into bipolar depression and shock him into some type of another life. I don't want to mess with that. I don't think he's all that good. I think he's overrated. For feud of the year, they have Gargano and Adam Cole. It's really the only feud that, like, looking back on this year, besides Cody versus all the big name heels in AEW, really the only feud I can think of is the Gargano versus Adam Cole. So it probably must be feud of the year then. The best pay-per-view of this year, they voted Wrestle Kingdom 13 from New Japan. Really the only, like, New Japan or Japan wrestling on their list here, but I definitely think Wrestle Kingdom 13 was a good show, as it should be a good show. It is New Japan's biggest show of the year. It should be amazing, and I think it definitely delivered. Is it show of the year? It could be, but it definitely wasn't anything WWE did. For promo of the year, they have Cody Rhodes and his Silver Spoon promo. I definitely think that was pretty good. Not sure about promo of the year. There's definitely some good contenders, but I would buy that. It's one of the best of the year. Then for Smack Talker of the year, finally, they have Cody from AEW. And I think all of Cody's work on the mic is great. I do think he's a little overrated on the mic. Like, he's definitely not at the level of a Rock or The Miz, but I think he can hold his own, and I think he's deserving of both of these Talker of the Year awards that they gifted. There you guys have it. I saved you some time so you don't have to read CBS's article. If you wanted to, it is linked in the description below. But I figured I would make a video on it because I found it interesting, so I figured I would just let you guys know here in video form. So with that said, I do thank you all so very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.